Hey babes, it's Sharonda Isadora and welcome to Brazen Babe Reviews. And during this video, I'll be talking about the book, The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. So let's get to this thing, shall we?
Okay. Now back to that steak in the table.
All right, so before I start, shout out to Jasmine, a different Jasmine, over at Literally Black Book Reviews for buddy reading this book with me. Her review will be up as well. I will leave the link to her blog in the description block. Why do I say that? In the description box. You guys should definitely go check her review out. Just check her blog out in general. She runs an awesome blog. She does wonderful, awesome ass reviews, and she's always out here supporting black authors, mainly black women, you know, in their stories. So we decided to buddy read this book together, and I wholeheartedly believe that if you have not read this book yet, you should definitely buddy read this book with someone. I feel like this is the type of book that should be done as like a group read or you know, buddy read, whatever, so that people can bounce ideas off of one another when they're going inside of this book. There's a lot to unpack in The Wedding Date. And if I unpack all the shit that irked me in this book, this will be a long ass review. And this is the second time I'm doing this video. My phone decided to be, you know, not let me be great and deleted every last video that I had on it. So I have to do this over. I don't know, maybe it was a sign, because maybe in the first video I was doing too much. I don't know, but anyway, so here I go again. So as always, I will read the blurb to you guys, and then I'll give you my thoughts on this book. Okay, so let's get to this thing again. A groomsman and his last-minute guest are about to discover if a fake date can go the distance in a fun and flirty debut novel. Agreeing to go to a wedding with a guy she gets stuck with in the elevator is something Alexa Monroe wouldn't normally do. But there's something about Drew Nichols that is too hard to resist. On the eve of his ex's wedding festivities, Drew is minus a +1 until a power outage strands him with the perfect candidate for a fake girlfriend. After Alexa and Drew have more fun than they ever thought possible, Drew has to fly back to Los Angeles in his job as a pediatric surgeon, and Alexa home to Berkeley, where she's the mayor's chief of staff. Too bad they can't stop thinking about the other. They're just two high-powered professionals on a collision course toward the long-distance dating disaster of the century, or closing the gap between what they think they need and what they truly want. So that, my beautiful people, is the blurb to The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. So as I was saying, there's a lot to unpack in this book, and I don't feel like doing another 40-minute video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I remember a lot of things from the video. Nothing has really changed from what I'm going to say now, you know, in this video from, you know, than what I said in the first one. So what I did was I wrote down 3 things that irked me the most inside of this book. I may give some spoilers, you know. If you haven't read this book as of yet, if you're one of the last people in the world to read this book, then if spoilers is an issue for you, then this ain't the video for you, boo-boo. And yeah. So, first thing I want to talk about is race and racism. The race and racism issues that the author decided to sprinkle inside of this book. I don't know if they weren't needed. My question is, why were they there? Every time the issue of race was brought up in this book, it was done at a very awkward and uncomfortable time. Totally unnecessary. And again, just not needed. I feel like we could, I could have went all 200 because I have the Nook version of the book, so I have 238 pages on the Nook. So I could have went the full 238 pages of this damn book and not have this couple bring up a race issue or run into a racial issue, and it would have been fine. Wouldn't have made the story better, for me at least, but we didn't need it. And most of the time the race issues came from Alexa. Drew had his little thing in here or whatever, but I just attribute that to him just being a fuckboy, an asshole, you know what I mean? But for example, he invites her to a birthday party. She immediately asks him if she's going to be the only black person there. Why are you asking? Why did she feel the need to ask him that question? I just did not understand it. You only knew this man for a couple of weeks. So even if he did invite you to an event, more than likely, with him being a white guy, you know, this is an interracial romance. So Alexa is black, as I just said, and Drew is white. So more than likely, yeah, maybe, you know, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go to the party and you'll probably be the only black person there, or probably one of the 1 or 2 black persons there, you know what I mean? But why did she feel the need to ask that question? It was just so awkward, in my opinion, for her to even ask her that question. And he responds to her like, you know, yeah, I don't know, maybe, you know, but, you know, a couple of guys that I play basketball with, you know, in my free time, you know, a couple of, you know, some of them are black, they'll be there. And I was just like, and she's just like, oh, okay. What? Like, it was just so awkward is the only word I can get, and just so unnecessary. The issues that this dog sniffing by the door. Go sit down. Go sit down. You already knocking on the door, sniffing by my door. So, you know, it was just so awkward. Every time it was brought up, it was just awkward and unnecessary. And I feel like many a times when Alexa brought it up, she made Drew feel so uncomfortable about it that he couldn't come back with anything. Even if he wanted to, he couldn't come back with anything because she made him feel, oh God, I can't believe I sometimes I think she made the man feel bad that he was white. You know what I mean? Like, it just was so unnecessary to have it in the story. It just made no sense at all. And and when they were brought up, I can definitely see maybe, or, you know, if, you know, I mean, why they were brought up. But the way these characters were written inside of the story, it was no need for it. It was just all so forced. You know, it seems, it in my honest opinion, it feels like, okay, we have this interracial couple. They have to have some issues, you know what I mean? And it just, no, they don't have to have any issues. It was just unnecessary. Didn't need to be in there at all. Drew and Alexa, I'll talk about them separately. I'll start off with Alexa. And then I'll go into this romance that they have. Alexa. I don't know what the author was trying to do with this woman, with this character. In the book, Alexa is described as short, with big ass and big titties. Not those words per se, but, you know, she was curvy black girl. All throughout this book, this is all this woman kept saying about herself. I'm short, and I have these hips, and I have these titties. I was just like, okay. But the way Alexa was written, I don't think this woman liked herself. I don't think she loved herself at all. She harped on her body throughout this book. And especially when she hooked up with, I was about to say Glenn. Especially when she hooked up with Drew. Is he gonna notice if my ass jiggle? Is he gonna notice my stomach jiggling? Is he gonna notice, you know, that little extra fat up under my titties and all this? I was like, why? When I said those race issues could have been left out, because what could have been replaced with that is us getting some type of background on this woman and why she feels the way she does about her body. To me, she did not like the body she was in. She damn near hated it. Was she in previous relationships and, you know, men made her feel a certain way about her body? Did she grow up, you know, a little chubby and, you know, she's carrying that over into adulthood? Like, what about Alexa made her feel this way about herself? You write this lady like this, make her feel this way about herself, but then when she's out, it's like men are damn near about to claw to get to her. And that was another racial aspect that was brought up inside of the book, because when she went to this wedding and when she went to this birthday party, it was like she had like these two creepy white dudes, because she was the black lady. You know, here come these white dudes automatically want to hit on her. And I understand, I know that happens, but it just felt like, again, because we have this black woman in the story, let's just throw her in these uncomfortable and, you know, weird ass environments, you know, especially while she's fucking around with this white man. Like, it just was all so unnecessary. Alexa was written, you know, she went to law school, you know, graduated law school, decided, you know, to be this mayor's deputy chief. She's written to be this very smart, articulate woman, and she just, her self-esteem was in hell, y'all. Fuck the bucket. It was in hell. She constantly questioned how Drew felt about her, what he didn't feel about her. He couldn't possibly you know, have any feelings for her, even though they're fucking around like rabbits or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, how, if you feel like this man has no feelings for you, or, you know, could possibly feel anything for you, why you continue to fly to a whole nother damn city to see him? It was just so unnecessary. Everything in this book was freaking unnecessary. I don't understand why Alexa was written the way she was. I just needed some type of background on her to make us understand why this woman felt the way she did about her body. And then there was one in the beginning of the book. Her and her friend are out shopping, and she says to the friend, they're trying on dresses for this wedding or whatever. And she says to her friend, who happens to be tall and, you know, slim and statuesque and all this other stuff, "Oh, I'm just a standard black girl." What? No, you're not the standard for a black woman, Alexa. Black women come in all shapes, all sizes, all complexions and colors or whatever. So, you know, all black women ain't walking around here with big ass and big titties. It took me a long motherfucking time to get an ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, again, ain't make no sense, y'all. Drew. I ain't gonna go a lot into Drew. I did not like Drew. Drew was an asshole. He was annoying. He was a fuck boy. Okay? This man had a penis roaming all around San Francisco. And he wasn't into relationships, you know, until he met Alexa or whatever. I was just like, whatever, man. And why was this man friends with all his exes? And from like the little bit that we got about these relationships with these exes, he wasn't even involved with them for very long. But he was such a nice guy, because, you know, he broke up with me, but he sent me flowers after. Bitch, what? That birthday party she went to, it was an ex's birthday party. And then when they get to the party, they're just not at the ex birthday party. Two other of his exes are at the birthday party. Why are these people cool friends like this? Listen, I'm not saying that people can't be friends with their exes, cool with their ex or whatever, but listen, we ain't all going to be, especially women in general. I am not believing that all these women that done messed around with this dude are all cool friends. I am not believing that. I'm not. That's not real life, y'all. Especially when it's penis involved. That's not real life. So it was just very, very, I didn't like Drew. That's all I gotta say about Drew. I didn't like him. He was very much, this man raged through this book. He was such a big ass man child. There were moments in this book where he would get mad at Alexa and accuse her of things and she wasn't paying him attention. He was such a big ass man child. I did not like him. That's all I got about him. This romance. For 99% of this book, these two professional adults surely didn't know what they were doing or what they wanted. They fucked around for 99% of this book, and throughout this fucking around, they couldn't decide if they wanted to be together. Drew, she's just somebody, he actually said this inside of the book, to Carlos, his best friend. She's just someone that, I can get some stress off with. Excuse me, sir? Excuse me, sir? And Alexa, the way Alexa was, oh my God, the way Alexa was just so set up. He's not my boyfriend. And there's no way that he wants to be my boyfriend. Like her friend Maddie in the book asked her at one part in the book, well, if you aren't sure, why don't you just ask him? I don't, pretty much like, I don't need to ask him because I know he doesn't feel that, I know he doesn't want to be with me like that. I know he doesn't feel, a way about me like that. Why are you flying across cities to see this man if you feel so strongly that he doesn't want to be with you? So you just gonna keep letting him fuck on you? And not even add, like, both of them, they raged throughout this book to their friends, to each other, about this non-existent relationship. You know what I mean? There was a point in the book where Carlos, at this birthday party, prime example, at this birthday party, she's sitting in the group with the ex-girlfriends, and this is how she finds out that he's pretty much just slept with every woman that is at the birthday party. And she's pissed off. Okay, let me hurry up because this phone is really being a bitch about itself. So, because he didn't tell her about it. So they get into this huge, he didn't tell her that, she was going to a party where all his goddamn exes was going to be. So they get into this huge fight. They go back to his apartment and she's all upset. She's crying, blah, blah, blah. So she says to him, Drew, I can't do this anymore. And I'm like, can't do what? For 99% of this book, y'all two were raging against each other and your friends, pretty much denying that there was even an existence of a relationship between y'all. Even though y'all were flying back and forth to each other's cities, fucking around on each other. Like, they just did not make sense to me. And not once during this relationship did either one of them ask, what are we going to do with this thing? Are we going to move forward? Are we just going to keep it at where it's at? Are we going to go slowly? They just didn't ask the questions, and it didn't make sense. Why not ask the questions? Why not? goofy asses. Jasmine's words, they goofy as hell. So finally, this story made absolutely no sense. There was no flow between the characters. The romance was dull and boring. It was like the author took pieces from vaguely written sentences and sorry, I can't understand my own writing. And threw it all in a terrible word soup. I just felt like these were just some sentences she had thrown around and, you know, some damn puzzle or whatever, and she decided to put this puzzle together, but the puzzles weren't placed properly together. This story was so discombobulated. Nothing made absolutely any sense. Drew and Alexa were very stifled characters. There was nothing about these two that indicated that there was no chemistry between them. None. There was no chemistry between them. I could not see these two in a relationship at all, given the way they were written in this story. Her with her issues, and then him being the fuckboy that he was, it just didn't make any sense. And throughout the whole story, they just kept giving each other the runaround, and it just got on my damn nerves. I was just like, I was never so happy for a book to be over with. I was so happy when we finished this damn book. I was like, oh my God, thank you, because this is terrible. I'm going to rate this 1 star. That's all I can give it. There was nothing fresh, nothing new, nothing remotely interesting about this story, in my opinion. We all read differently. We all go into stories and take something different from it or whatever, interpret it differently. I interpreted the wedding date as fuck shit. That's all I could say. I didn't enjoy this story. I didn't enjoy this couple. Point blank period. I just didn't. Please, y'all, stop giving us tragic black girls that hate themselves and throwing them in relationships. Especially if you're going to throw them in an interracial relationship. Please stop doing this. It is so freaking unnecessary. I don't want to see it anymore. Stop putting unnecessary racial trauma in your books. If that trauma or racial trauma shapes your character and what's going on inside of the story, fine. But if it doesn't have to be there, don't put it there. There's no need for it to be there. All of the racial themes that went on in this book, we could have done without it. That is my thoughts on The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. I understand that this is a series, is 4 books in, and I have no interest in reading any other books in the series. I can't believe, based on this book, that any other books in this series is going to be any better. I just don't. Just densely written characters. The story is just discombobulated all over the place. Like, nah, dog, I'll pass. I'm not even going to torture myself like that. So to each his own, you know. But for this girl here, we good. I'm good. So that is it for me, guys. Until the next one, later days.